my match that as I was going through this, what is the match that I feel like I was best? If somebody asked me what's my favorite match, it's tricky because there's an answer I'm supposed to give.
Yeah.
There's an answer that sounds real good, but the actual answer is WrestleMania 39, the year I don't win it. And there's a moment in the match where I'm in the guillotine, and the crowds don't really respond so much to the submissions or near submissions like they used to. It definitely still happens, but it takes a lot of interest, a lot of suspension of disbelief, a lot of getting in there. And I pop my head out. And I remember in a stadium where all the noise goes up, I remember in the stadium hearing them react to it. And I never felt that I was at that. I was so connected with them. Everything was real. Everything was real. But it's a tough answer because we left there sad. We left there, on a downer. And then WrestleMania 40 is where we're able to give them they feel like they're one match.
Right.
To me. But yeah, I was so curious. I was like, I wonder if there's a song that he thinks, oh, this is just the one where it was me at my best. But that's the whole thing. We're always chasing. And like you said, talking about the snare, wrestlers who rewatch their stuff, it's kind of like, why? If it was bad, you know it was bad.
Right.
You were there. If there was something that was really off or air this much or whatever, you're pretty aware of the thing you need to fix. And when it was good, you felt it, and it was great. And it's hard sometimes to watch your stuff because that's all it becomes. It becomes snares. It becomes, I would have done this. I would have stood differently. I would have closed my mouth. These unique things, and then it almost takes away from good things you've done. Good work that you've had. Gosh, I love that. I texted you about that song because it hit me in the bones, I think is what it told me. Country music, I grew up in Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I used to have Kicks 101.5.
Oh, yeah.
Kicks 101.5. I grew up, what I would say, and I could be off here, on 90s country. And it was like, Randy, and it was George, and it was Travis, and it was Garth, and it was Tim. But Tim was like...
That was the 90s.
Tim was like the young...
Athletic.
And even, yeah, exactly. It was doing big high spots.
Yep.
And I remember my dad was particularly old school, but also real open-minded. Do you have an era of country music that you feel is just speaks to you?
I was hoping we were going to talk about music. Dude, I have so many eras of country music. We'll start at the 90s because my mama loved 90s country.
Yes.
Like, I told Garth Brooks when I first met him, I think I know more Garth Brooks songs than Garth Brooks. You know what I mean? I think I was still buying Garth Brooks CDs until he did his Amazon Music deal 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I was literally still going to Walmart every year because, the skis were burned. But 90s was big. Even Tim, Randy, of course. You touching Tracy Lawrence.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Man, I just remember the distinctness of that was the first time I ever heard a nasal singer that wasn't like bad. It was something charming about his nasally voice.
Yeah.
Like Dylan wasn't as charming, but his lyrics were so good. It was so Dylan. And I'm a big Dylan songwriting fan too. But it's 1970s outlaw country music. Have you ever went down this wormhole?
My only experience, what I say, with outlaw country is more being told
about it.
Dusty had his people that he loved, and more being told about it, but also it was so beyond me, generationally. I don't know how much I went back and really got into it, Yeah.
I will say this, it would probably be fun for you to go get lost in it for a night down a wormhole, because I don't know, there might be something to draw there from inspiration.
Yeah.
For this.
Yeah.
Because I draw a lot of my inspiration from y'all, right? Because I'm so easy at getting into another world and watching it and going, oh, that could apply here in my world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Waylon Jennings, so I'm sure your daddy told you the story, but I was just talking to Kevin Owens about this. I'm like force feeding outlaw country music on your friend right now. No. I'm like force feeding it on him. But he's gonna watch this now, but I can't get away from this talking to me about Waylon Jennings. Yeah. But Waylon was the first artist in country music history to have a platinum album. Think about that. Country music history. Of all the Hank Sr.
Yeah.
I mean, think about what we know about country music. Hank Snow, like the first platinum album. And when Waylon went to the label, he said, I want to do this album called The Outlaws. It's going to be me, Willie, and Jesse, and and we're going to put out this album, and it's going to be just kind of a compilation record. And the label was like, have you lost your damn mind? What is wrong with you? And he was like, dude, I'm telling y'all, y'all don't know because y'all aren't out here.
Yeah.
I'm in the clubs every night. People are climbing the walls about this stuff. Y'all are missing a moment. And they put out the album, and almost on, there's 2 stories I'll tell you about that this happened in country music history if you care to hear them, where the label looks at the artist and goes, all right, we'll do it your way. But it's your funeral.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Outlaws, the Outlaw album's first album to go platinum.
Yeah.
The Outlaw movement begins, which would launch Waylon, Willie, Johnny. Johnny was a little bit before the Outlaw movement, but he just kind of fit right into it. It just he was like on an island of his own without a home.
Yeah.
And it's like when this started happening, they were like, hey, no, we're for you.
Fit in here.
Yeah, Chris Christopherson. And what else is fun
man.
about it is I look at the Outlaws kind of like I do, you know, some of the wrestlers in the aspect of like these 4 dudes were really close. It's like you and some of your homies. They're all really cool, but couldn't be 4 different personalities.
Sure.
You know, Johnny was like, I want to
Yeah.
host 52 episodes of the Johnny Cash show.
Yeah.
I want to be on TV. I want to be, you know, Waylon was like, I don't want to do an interview to save my life. Don't call me. I just want to do shows and write songs. Willie was like, I want to do everything from the Muppets to, you know, and Chris Christopherson wrote or just did a bunch of songs and was like, I want to go be an actor. Yeah, he just wanted to write big hits and be an actor. You know, he was so handsome. So they all had such their own unique thing. And the music lived. The story's so compelling that people hear the music, and if you can't get over the twang at first, you get lost. But like when you get into the content, I never would have thought I could have been a country music artist if I didn't hear Waylon Jennings go, looking for trouble and I found a son, right down the barrel of a lawman's gun. And I remember looking at my mama going, this is country music?
Yeah.
She was like, listen to this. And she started playing, don't you think this outlaw business done got out of hand? And I was like, ooh, wasn't singing through my nose, it got me busted by the man. Don't you think this outlaw business? I mean, I was like, this dude, when he was talking about, they locked me up for some possession for stuff that was long gone.
Oh, man.
Like, he was just so clever and witty.
Yeah.
And then I'm so sorry. You'll shut me up if you want.
No, not at all.
But Willie Nelson I identify myself in him and Johnny the most.
Sure.
And Willie, because he's the most jovial guy. Like, even when I met him for the first time, gives me a bandana with his autograph sign, his wife's sweet as chest pie, his son comes over, we're all hanging. He's just the nicest guy. And then he's funny, he's charming, and then he grabs that guitar. Maybe I didn't love you. And you're just like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you're writing that? You know what I mean? Like, even his fun song, Shotgun Willie was fun. He's talking about sitting around his underwear. But like, even On the Road Again had like a feeling to it. It wasn't just, you know, it's like, I don't know, it's just all those dudes. The first time I heard Folsom Prison and heard the story of Johnny and June's Carter and found out they were married. And even that was cool to me. It was like the idea of this married couple singing to each other about like having a problem with each other and going to Jackson to drink and get over each other, you know?
Yeah.
I carry that into my marriage now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of vulnerability I would die for with my wife. You know what I mean? Is that, so I love the 90s. I love the 2000s and the 2010s because 808s came into play. And these were all moments that were like little moments that happened that made it later would be the moments that were the reason I could come in.
Sure.
But 100% 1970s outlaw
country. I love talking about Willie. I don't know. His tour manager, I believe he's passed on, but did you ever meet a guy named Pootie?
Yeah.
Okay, so growing up, Willie coming, whether it was Lakewood, Amphitheater, wherever, we always had to go to Willie. And I was Kicks 101.5. This is 90s country. I knew, obviously, Willie, and we had pictures all over the house of Willie and Dusty. All over the house. All over the house. So I kind of just figured it was his friend. But obviously, he was a big-time musician, too. But the first time I saw it was really mind-blowing. He's singing Mama Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys, and then all of a sudden he calls Dusty up on stage. And they're just going at it. And this happened every time we went and saw them. And Dustin would get up on there, and I always kind of wanted to, like, maybe this would be my time. Maybe I'll go up. But I was always too shy to go up. But I have great pictures from all the times that Willie, Dusty, and he did it with, every wrestler who wanted to go see Willie, they'd take care of him always. He was just so special. Because you mentioned Johnny too. We were talking about this earlier, and I've never seen this before, but One time, Tony Schiavone was doing an interview with Willie Nelson by the pool. It was supposed to be Willie and Dusty. I think Willie was just doing a favor for Dusty. And my dad was late, 15 minutes late, but there was no reason for him to be late. And they went to his room and he's like, Dusty, we're at the pool. And my dad goes, hey, is Willie there? He said, yeah, he's been waiting on you. He goes, all right, I can come now. And that was this big power move that he needed to do it was, I don't know if it was a rib or if it's something Willie was used to, but it was really silly, really just some odd power move or rib. But then when I saw I think it's Gunsmoke, I think it's an episode of Gunsmoke, could have this wrong, but he meets Johnny Cash. And I have the footage of my dad meeting Johnny Cash. And my dad takes his hat off, and I've never seen ever in my life my dad nervous, except that moment.
Wow.
And it is something about Johnny and how he came in the room. You know, sometimes there's just a power.
Oh, yeah.
You know, everyone says aura today. There's a thing, something about when he walked in the room, he took his hat off, he went over and shook his hand, and I kind of didn't like it. I was like, oh, I don't know that man. Like, but I also loved it because he had such a respect for him and not just a respect for the music. The music was in the heart and the ears when they were driving and all that, but the road. And Johnny, a master marketer and master entertainer, not unlike Garth would become, where there were all these things you needed to do. Like the music's there, but what are these hooks that we can do to get them to pay to come see us? And then, oh my gosh, there's this whole entertainment aspect to it. I love that you mentioned Chris Christopherson.
He doesn't get enough love.
He doesn't. And my mom,
enough
if you ever meet my mom, talk to her about Chris Christopherson. She loves some Chris Christopherson.
I don't want to guess your mom's age, but if she's in her 60s and 70s,
yeah,
every woman feels
she's
that way about Chris.
Yeah.
Every woman that grew up south of Indiana, you know what I'm saying, loses their mind about Chris.
He was just writing music you didn't know. He was just writing hits.
He didn't care. He loved it. He would do it on movie sets. He was like he was a real songwriter.
Yeah.
Like, I love those guys, man. And I learned early, I call myself a songwriter, but because I write a bunch of songs, but like real songwriters, that's all they do.
Yeah.
And I do a lot more of this stuff, you know what I mean, which takes away from that stuff. Where Chris, I think that's what made Chris make that decision.
Yeah.
He was like, I can't do the traveling and the writing.
Yeah.
I can do the movies and the writing, but I'd rather write than travel. And our business was a lot like y'all in the old days.
Yeah.
You've done this like 200, I relate to y'all in this regard. 250, 300 days out of my bed a year, super normal.
It's just the way it is.
It's just what it is. I think we count them now as a joke in the family. I had like 40-something last year.
Yeah.
I'm going to have like 53 this year or something like that. It's like just kind of standard protocol for us.